Unfortunately.
Legalize Kemp. Suck at Red Tide. And as always, suck at mosquitoes.
Of course. You know we're going to give you that suck at mosquitoes kind every time.
I've got the candles lit. I think I'm protected. I'm zipped up in my little cage here. And we will see how many times I get bit. I see one right now. Like, I'm literally looking at one. Come at me, bro.
This is going to be like the birds where, like, one shows up behind you and then, like, 4 show up behind you and then 8. And
just over my shoulder? Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Happy Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us. Wherever you are, hopefully you're safe. Keeping up with, limited, but it's ramping up stuff going on in the sports world. So UFC, again, with a nice pay-per-view, 249 over the weekend. They're back with a fight night tonight. We'll get into that in a little bit. Tyler, how are you doing this evening?
I'm living, man. It's not too hot right now. It's actually kind of nice and cool with the window open. I'm just going to roll with this cool weather until it gets unbearably hot, like within a week, and then just becomes unrelenting for an entire summer.
There's no going back in Bakersfield. When you hit that day,
No.
And then it's like, cool, there's going to be 40 days of 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be 90 degrees at 10 o'clock at night for the next 3 months. So
that is the most depressing part, honestly, is when it's hot at night. Like, all right, you kind of accept it, when you're a kid, like you're out of school
during the day. Yeah,
it's like, all right, it's hot. I'm gonna have to stay home, or I'll go to the movies somewhere with air conditioning. But at night we can go out, right? And you come outside, and then you just die.
You just get blasted with heat. Yep.
Until like 11 o'clock. It's like somewhat halfway decent, but yeah.
Good luck with that. Dips down to the 80s. You got to get your sweater out at that point in time.
A brisk 80 degrees.
But not doing too bad here, Ronnie. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Got out of the bank relatively on time, so that was nice. Had time to set up, check out the new overlay. I do want to mention anyone that wants to call in. For the link is different for every show. So the last letter there is an I. So punch that into your phone, into your computer, and you will get on the air with us. Have a
There we go.
And don't suck, as Rome says. Which I do want to have a little transition there. Shout out to Manuel and Gardena, a.k.a. Matt in L.A., which I think also a.k.a. like Kobe Zilla is what he has on his Twitter right now. That's my guy, Manuel. He got the golden ticket today. Got the golden ticket. I was able to catch that right as I was pulling into the parking lot at work. But I will advise you, Manuel, space out the calls a little bit, because if you call in every day and Rome runs you off, you might get that chopper, where they reverse the golden ticket and take it away. So pick your spots. But
let's not kid ourselves. It's going to happen. I think Rome pretty much does that with everybody. He just tears up their golden ticket eventually.
Like I was telling you, the best move is just to get the golden ticket and then not call again.
And then retire. Just that's it. I'm done.
No, don't retire, but just show up for the smack off. I mean,
right, yeah.
You might not be at your, tip-top shape because you're not giving, your burn calls, but at least you got a ticket to the show. The more you call in between now and when the smack off is, it's really just more chances to lose. So, mind that, Manuel. But love you, dude.
Yeah, big shout out to him. We actually got to meet him a couple years ago. It's super nice dude. Absolutely nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's probably one of the more like positive people I've ever met.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, I mean, he's pretty blazed out most of the time that I met him.
All the time.
I mean, that'll make anyone pretty easygoing, right?
Exactly. But so big shout out to him. But I guess we can get on with some sports news. Like Ronnie said, it is stuff is kind of ramping up here. A lot of talks with a bunch of different leagues that are making their discussions to.
C's coming in with a shot, by the way.
Oh, there we go.
Softer than SoCal guy complaining about the weather. SoCal guy complaining about bugs. Well, the bugs I'll give you.
Yeah.
And the weather, kind of. But because I know, Cease is coming where there's a lot of humidity. So
I can't do humidity. Yeah.
I can't tolerate that. I'm pretty soft when it comes to that. Tyler can back me up on that. But it is hot as hell in Bakersfield, Cease. Come out here and then run your mouth. He gone. Callan checking in also. Hey, fellas.
Hey, Callan, check his show out every day here on the Quarantine Network.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so a lot of leagues are talking, making talks, getting back into it. I know Major League Baseball, the owners have proposed their plan to the players for the shortened season coming up. I haven't read too many specifics, so we're not details of what exactly is on the proposal. All I know is I did see that Major League pitcher Sean Doolittle had a really long Twitter thread about things that he's kind of looking for, and it's mostly just in regards to testing for the players, for the staff, bus drivers, all that stuff. Not even getting into hotel staff that they're going to have to stay at. I mean, it was a lot of, again, just really like good points that it's like I don't think anybody can fault unless you're just one of those dickheads. Like man, just go out there and play. You get paid money. Like, dude, this is way more than that. So it'll be interesting to see what. I mean, I would say don't expect to hear anything major for the next couple weeks. It's just going to be a lot of just back and forth discussions between the owners and the MLBPA. But at least maybe it's trending towards the right step towards sports coming back. Who knows?
I know a lot of the players have already kind of expressed some pushback to this, and I think it's a little unfair to the players. I mean, we're dealing with a really unprecedented thing here, though. I want to say that both sides will, they're going to hash it out. They're going to go back and forth. I think they both know that they need to get some kind of product on the field at some point. But the worst thing that baseball could do at this point is have some kind of labor dispute over this. Like, that would be the worst look they could possibly do at this point, because fans want it. The players want to play. The owners obviously want to make money by having the games at least be on TV if there's no fans. So right. I think they're going to work it out at some point. But if this gets dragged out into some kind of labor dispute thing, it's just going to be a bad look for everyone. So I hope that there'll be a middle ground that they can land on. But it is going to be, as Tyler said, a little bit of a back and forth right now because the players are not happy with what was offered.
Yeah, I did see one article, basically kind of the article, and I wish I had it in front of me so I could credit whoever wrote it. But they basically said, one of the big hangups they foresee is the words salary cap weren't specifically used in what the owners proposed, but it basically kind of was another wording of salary cap, which we all know the MLBPA is just going to be like, no way we're doing that.
And Callan coming in, labor dispute is the absolute worst outcome of this right now. They got to work this out. And again, MLB is not, baseball in general is not a sport made for TV like football or basketball or hockey. Well, it's kind of been revived a little bit with HD because a lot of people are like, I can't see the puck and all this stuff.
Yeah, but they're on networks that nobody can see either.
and that, which is their own fault. But, they do a little bit better on TV now. And
sure.
For hockey, the main thing is, as a hockey fan, you can't learn to love it by watching on TV. You've got to go to the game.
You got to
play
it,
yeah. Or, just be in that experience. So baseball really needs to sort this out and try to get something on the field this year.
Yeah, and again, I'm not expecting anything, probably even hearing anything major about it for a week or two. Like, there'll be just a lot of back and forth negotiations. It's probably going to be pretty ugly, but that'll all be behind closed doors. But
hopefully.
We'll see again. Hopefully, just for our sports loving selfish wants. I hope something does happen. But ultimately, again, the players do got. Biggest thing is the players' health. Obviously, like. If you got to sacrifice this year so that way the players can be healthy going forward, I totally get that. That'll suck, but I get it.
And there's going to be, issues of like service time and this sort of thing. But, they hopefully work it out, you guys. I mean, there's a lot of money, at stake. I get that. But also, people are clamoring for it. I see also, I want to mention to you, specifically, Tyler, that Justin has called in I don't know.
Ooh.
He's maybe muted his camera or something. So as soon as
Okay.
he's back on, we'll get him into the show here.
Absolutely.
Braden also coming in. Blake Snell on his stream was like, hell no, I'm not sharing. I want my cash, bro. Respect.
Yeah.
And it looks like, as Callan also points out, the universal designated hitter is already done and dusted, so we will see that.
I mean, that's
would be nice to have fan mail right now, huh? Huh? Sorry, I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but I'm not a Padres
I don't know.
fan, so.
I saw Justin just set us up in the private chat too. Said he's going to listen for a little bit before he comes back. So, I mean, the universal DH. That's whatever. Like that's not something that I'm like going to die on a hill on. Like that's
no. Yeah. At this point, it's just get to where we can play games. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I always love the weirdness beyond that of just all baseball. Like all the parks are different dimensions, and one league has a DH, one league doesn't have the DH. Like I like that stuff, but
right.
It's more about just like getting a game that people can watch. Like at this point, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll go on to the next thing here. So as Ronnie mentioned earlier, the UFC is rolling on. They're actually have a fight on right now, one of their fight night cards. But we did just want to talk a little bit about the fallout coming from UFC 249. Dana did tell, I think it was the ESPN Radio in Chicago affiliate, that he is shooting for a Khabib versus Justin Gaethje fight, probably sometime in the summer on Fight Island.
Oh, please
give us Fight Island.
Any fight on Fight Island is all I want at this point.
Although there was a bit of sad news earlier today, is that Khabib's father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, try and say that 5 times fast. He's actually in a military hospital in Moscow right now with a coma or in a coma. I know that Dagestan area is, from everything I've read, like it's been hit ridiculously hard. They're not getting much medical help. So we'll see if he can pull through and how that's going to affect Khabib. I mean, that guy is like a hero in Dagestan. He opened up these gyms that gave a place kids to go off the streets. Ronnie, before the show we were talking, you said he's kind of the Cuddy Wise from The Wire. He opened up this boxing gym to pull kids off the corners, and that's what Khabib's father did. Is he opened up this gym, gave kids a place to go instead of being on the street, resorting to crime, getting killed. I mean, it's so he's a big deal around there. So hopefully he pulls through, and again, we'll see how that impacts Khabib going forward.
Yeah, and I know Khabib is kind of, I mean, obviously, just from a geographical standpoint, kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes. He seems like, a little engaged. I saw I think he replied to Connor, one of his tweets or something like that. But so he's still there, and he's obviously still training. And Tyler sent me the picture. Like, he just always looks like someone I would not ever mess with. Like,
yeah, for real.
At any point, I'm just like, all right, dude, no. Just take my here's my wallet. Just
take whatever you want.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble.
Like
here.
He's still training hardcore while going through the practice of Ramadan, which is fasting all day, and yet he still is like, it's not like he looks like emaciated, like he still just looks like an absolute monster.
And then but his track record too. You see the way that he like brawls and just like gets people on the ground, and he's not one to mess with.
Not at all. But some other news came out the other day is the heavyweight champ Stipe Miocic. People have been saying he's ducking the DC fight, blah blah blah. He basically came out the other day, said, "Look, I will fight Daniel Cormier. That's not a question, but I have no gym to train at right now, so I'm kind of working on that. Plus, for all the assholes out there, he is a firefighter. He's a first responder. So now more than ever, like UFC is his side hustle. Like he is a firefighter first and foremost. So like, people being dickheads like, oh, you're just ducking. Like, dude, this guy is a first responder during a crisis. So, eat a dick. Like,
and I think, I mean, that kind of like ripples out, to all sports really at this point. Like, just think about how you yourself have kind of dealt with and gone through this whole quarantine or, separation thing. Like, these guys are real people too, so there's a lot more going on than just like, oh yeah, you should just make that fight. Like, I don't know why, whatever, dude. Like, let him handle his business, and he'll get back out there sooner or later.
But yeah, so hopefully they can get that fight with him and DC, going whenever they can, and the winner of that will probably face Francis, which Stipe and Francis faced off once before, and that's just a fight of two dudes that are going to throw, which it was interesting for Stipe was able to avoid the massive hits from Ngannou, but I think Ngannou would probably hard to say because he might also just go and swinging like crazy. So
yeah,
like that's a rematch I'm looking forward to.
I thought maybe the first time Ngannou was a little not quite ready for that, and then now with just like what we've seen, momentum means a lot in sports. So like I think the self-belief, there's a lot to that as well. So it could be a very different fight when that gets put together.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, as far as the fight night, I'm not going to show it, but Tyler, man, in the prelims, it was you could just Google it, but it was a very gross leg injury. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's Gabriel Benitez. Pretty much got his shin split completely open. And after that happened, continued to throw leg kicks, which I will say is half awesome and also more than half stupid. Like,
it's more terrifying.
It's hideous.
This is a real person that exists in the earth. Like,
no. Google it if you want. Fair warning.
Yeah,
you will see bone. So,
NSFW.
NSFL, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not safe for life.
You don't want to see it. And Cease, obviously, chirping back. Lived in Bakersfield for a year and grew up in the Valley, Visalia.
Yes, he's a Visalia boy. Okay.
Visalia.
Did he know DJ LeMayu, the pride of Visalia?
I don't know. Cease.
Steep.
Let us know if you know LeMayu out there. But we do have on the celebrity hotline, which, again, I always have to mention is, let's say, I want to say tonight it's brought to you by Jupiter Records and Tapes. Jupiter Records and Tapes, your home for outdated music formats. Let's bring in No ID Justin. How we doing, son?
What up? Can you guys hear me? Justin? Right? Audio good?
Doing
we
good.
Can hear
Audio's
you.
Good.
Sweet deal.
How you been, man?
Sweet deal. How you guys been?
Doing well. We're running the the show here, so this is our new side project here. For those who don't know or maybe are just new to the show, No ID Justin is a good friend of the program, back from the podcast days, back from the J Moore Sports days. I'm just gonna call you our Cowboys insider as well.
That works, man. No, I've been doing all right. I know, a lot of people are hurting and out of work and stuff like that. I've been blessed enough to keep working. My profession is got me working even more so now. So it's been hot and heavy, dude. But I'm staying as safe as possible, and I'm sure everybody else is too. So all of those of us with common sense, at least. But I like the setup too. It looks like you're in the backyard.
Yes, sir.
That's clean.
I got my mosquito candles here because I am the tasty white meat for all mosquitoes. I get bit more than anyone I know. So, again, I have to mention suck at mosquitoes.
So there you go. Now you got it.
Word life. Yeah, now, do you have those murder hornet candles? Do you have those? The murder hornet candles?
They were out of stock. Amazon said it was back ordered, so I don't know. But we'll see what I can do with that. At this point, it's like bring on the murder hornets. Because
FedEx can be unreliable with deliveries. I mean, you don't want to order anything right now. It's rough. It's tough sledding. So
I noticed Amazon overshooting quite a bit, though. Like they're rolling back all the stuff that was on Prime. Like, oh, you'll get it in like 12 days, and then you get it in like 3 days. So it's like on their side, hey, it looks better for us. It's better to be on the safe side. Hey,
under promise, over deliver.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I myself have been waiting, I think 2.5 weeks for something, so it's, I'm sure everybody's feeling it out there, but, again, as long as everybody's safe and doing what they can, every state's different too. I think that's another crazy lining about this, it's like everybody, I got buddies in, Colorado and just, Utah, got a buddy that's, postal worker in New York. So it's like there's it seems just different, state to state. Like people are handling it different, reacting different, and it's strange times for sure. I'm definitely missing sports, as I'm sure a lot of other people are too. So
we're starved out here. We were the iRacing show of record. I don't know if you've seen the show before. I was just going to say NASCAR digital races. Those are all the craze now. So that was our moneymaker for a long time, and they shut it down. Thanks.
Yeah, now they're going back to real racing. Who wants that?
Who cares about that, dude? Go back to the video game.
Tell me, how many Korean baseball games have you guys watched?
5.
I feel like Tyler has seen more. He watches it on Twitch as well. I've seen a couple.
And I can't sleep at night, so.
And that.
Okay. Yeah, I have a similar problem. Yeah, we're on the same
watched
page.
the last one over the weekend where Trevor Bauer's phone number got leaked out, which was hilarious. But he played it off like a champ, and made a little contest. Like, oh well, you guys all have my number, so call my voicemail, and you can enter this contest. So I mean, Trevor Bauer's a cool dude, but yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not quite the same, but I appreciate that it's live, professional baseball going on, because I'm starved as anyone to see it. So
I'm really the crowd, the artificial crowds. That's
C's checking in, no ID, giving love.
So what up, man? Yeah, he's feeling the pain right now too. I know his profession is keeping him feeling the pain right now too. So be safe, man.
I gotta ask you while you're here. So because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. I mean, what are your initial thoughts, reactions to whatever's going on with Dak, and then just the Cowboys draft? You are our Cowboys insider, so obviously, I'm sure a ton of people have read or heard the same stuff. Like Mike Fisher had reported, I think, yesterday, or, I think it was yesterday, that reportedly it was going to be 5 years, $175 million with like 106 guaranteed. So the guaranteed money wouldn't surpass Jared Goff's contract, but, the annual would be, I believe, on par with Russell Wilson. It would be about the same. Look, I was just telling somebody at work earlier today. I don't care anymore, man. It's not my money. I understand the team needs to be built, and you have a salary cap, but just get it over with. I'm so tired of hearing about it, and it seems like everybody. It's almost with most things in life, everybody's forced talent and just ability of a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson or a lot of these other guys, but I think just. He's a good quality leader. The guy makes plays when it's necessary, and he carried a pretty inconsistent defense most of the year last year. That was some of the worst defensive football I've seen as a Cowboys fan in a very long time. So in terms of the contract, I guess my stance would just be get it done at this point. From what I gather, it seems like him and his agent want the 4 years. So they can cash in again. The team would like to secure 5 because obviously that makes things more flexible for the team. So yeah, like I said, at this point, just sign a 4.5-year deal. Let's introduce 4.5-year contracts. If they can get a 4.5-year deal done and spread the money out, I think both sides can meet and agree on something. If anyone could work that out, I feel like Jerry could hook that up. I mean, he's
absolutely,
he's the wizard.
4 years in a yacht, dude. 4 years in a yacht. But it's,
and I think what you were saying too is like, all right, yeah, Mahomes is like on another planet. Like, not every team, only one team has Mahomes, but the value of a guy that's above average and consistent lock them up.
And for
Like,
the most
just
part,
make it
healthy.
happen.
For the most part, healthy. You know, so and yeah, at the end of the day, you know, this is the game. It's not nothing new. Like whenever a quarterback comes up to get paid, chances are he's going to be the highest paid for that span. You know, until the next guy. And we both know, you know, we all know. Deshaun Watson's around the corner. Patrick Mahomes is around the corner. Those guys' contracts are going to far surpass his, no matter what his signing is. So, in my opinion, those are the guys. Like, I bet if you ask Patrick Mahomes' agent or Deshaun Watson's agent, they're like, "Yeah, pay the hell out of that.
Pay him. Pay him."
Because that just pushes it up for them.
And it does, you know, suck as a fan too, because I know we're all waiting for football, but it's hard not to be excited about what the team potentially could be, you know, even with him playing on the franchise tag this year. You know, let him bet on himself this year and go out on a show and prove deal. Tons of talent, and a lot of people think the defense is still going to be subpar. I kind of disagree. I think switching to a true 3-4, having Gerald McCoy in the middle, you're going to give guys like DeMarcus Lawrence and Jalen Smith, these guys are going to be able to roam a little more, rush the passer more effectively. And then, you know, you're going to have, you know, whatever you get from Aldon Smith and Randy Gregory in the pregame bong loads, that's, you know, like if they can go out there and just, you know, toke it up pregame, go sack the quarterback 2 times a piece, you know, like that's all icing on the cake.
There you go. Yep.
No, it's not like I just put Aldon Smith on the stream.
Yeah, no, it's like, you know, he's good to go, dude.
Aldon Smith.
He's good to go.
He's rested. We know that.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and anybody that Jay Glazer goes to bat for, I'm like, all right, you know, if Jay Glazer says he's a good dude, you know, like, cool, man, you know.
Plus, you got to be excited. You got to be excited if this whole thing with Dak doesn't work out. You know, you can fall back on Dalton. That's got to be comforting.
I'm never opposed to having a ginger quarterback, man. You guys should know that.
Exactly.
You know, like I will take it, man.
Life.
You know, give me Christmas Story Scott Farkas slinging it back there anytime, dude. Like, you know, that'll be, you know, they'll go to post-game pressers with DBs, you know, man, he beat you on that deep ball. He had yellow eyes. He had yellow eyes. I was watching him. So it, you know, yeah, it is. It's hard not to be excited though for the season, even though, you know, we have no idea if we're gonna get it or not. And I see my boy rocking the Dodgers shirt too. It's hard not to be excited for them. And then, I mean, dude, you know, if we can get some basketball, like Lakers were finally rolling, and
I know.
Yeah, it's just
if they shoot right into the playoffs, it's gonna be weird. But I mean, it's cool for the Lakers.
Oh yeah, and that hurts the Lakers in my opinion. You know, more so than a lot of other teams.
I think it hurts all the top teams that were up there because then it's just we're throwing you right into the playoffs.
Yeah. It is. And again, I don't want to sound, you know, unsympathetic or anything insincere, anything of that nature, you know, for what's going on. But it is just to the core. It's hard, you know. I'm a diehard sports fan across the board, so it's, you know, like I'm watching Netflix. I'm like, I don't want to do this, you know. There's not. I don't binge watch a lot of shows, you know. Like work's keeping me busy. I miss the hell out of sports, and I know I'm not alone in that. So, you know, it does. That UFC was tasty. Like it was nice to get something to just watch.
Teaser.
So, yeah. It's you know, we'll see what happens though. There's positive news, you know, kind of leaking out here and there. So we'll see what happens going forward. If we can, you know, get some resemblance of some sports back, that'd be great. You know.
Word up. I'm gonna sign us off. Justin, stay on the line. We got to go because we got Auntie Bev. Ask Auntie Bev anything coming up here on the Quarantine Network. Stay tuned for that. Tyler.
Keep the fire.
You know it.